Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we really try to dig up those potent insights, and sometimes they come packaged in really surprising ways. It's not always a massive report or a thick book. Sometimes, honestly, the most powerful stuff. It's just a handful of words. Gives you a real shortcut to, getting properly informed. And that is exactly what we have on the table today. Our source material is, well, it's incredibly short, super concise, but wow, is it impactful. It's called Excerpts from the Power of Confidence and Boldness. Now, don't let that excerpts bit fool you. Our whole deep dive today is centered on just one single sentence. That's it. Think of it like a tiny distilled nugget of knowledge, a treasure map almost. So let me read this core statement out for you because this single line, that's our whole world for this discussion. Okay, here it is. Be bold, half steps kill plan, confidence opens doors. Simple structure, right? Reads like something you might see on a poster. Almost intuitive. But our mission, our whole goal here is to really unpack every single layer of meaning packed inside this one sentence. We're treating it like a really rich source, a whole philosophy for getting things done, just waiting for us to decode it.
It's a great challenge, isn't it? Because when you boil wisdom down that much, it forces you to be precise. Every single word counts. It carries so much weight. And it makes us look beyond just the immediate takeaway. We have to dig deeper for the dynamics underneath. Like you said, it's not just a catchy phrase. It feels like a tightly wound spring of insight. We really need to get every nuance out of it to feel its power.
Totally agree. And it makes me think about something I think we all run into, right? That feeling, you have a great idea, you see an opportunity, and then nothing. It just sort of sits there, gets dusty.
Yeah.
Why? Because we're waiting for the perfect time or the perfect plan. We've all done it. And that's precisely why this statement feels so vital right now. So let's kick off right at the start. Be bold. It sounds like a command almost, maybe a bit daunting. When people hear be bold, I think lots of minds jump to like crazy stunts or huge risky moves. But is that really it? Or is there maybe a more subtle way to think about boldness here, a more strategic one?
That's a really important point. Glad you raised it. Boldness here, I don't think it means recklessness at all. Recklessness is, well, it's gambling without enough thought, right? Often just impulse. Boldness, though, that's about decisive action. But it's fueled by conviction. It's that conscious choice to act instead of just sitting there, especially when things feel uncertain or risky. Think of it as the cure for analysis paralysis. When you're being bold, you're not just thinking about the next step, you're taking it. Even if the path isn't perfectly lit, it's about committing, getting the ball rolling, creating momentum.
Oh, I like that phrase, the cure for analysis paralysis, because that's the trap, isn't it, for so many of us? We get stuck spinning our wheels, overthinking every possible thing that could go wrong, every what if, until poof, the chance is gone, the window closed. So be bold is basically like saying, break that cycle. Just take the first definite step. It's almost like a little psychological nudge, a self-intervention.
Exactly. And think about the psychology of making that bold first move. It actually, it reduces the mental load because you've made a choice. You're not juggling options anymore. It tells your subconscious, okay, we're doing this. And that helps line up everything else you do afterwards. Whether you're trying to learn something new or pitch an idea at work or maybe just start a tough conversation. That first hurdle, it always feels the highest. Boldness is the thing that gets you over it. It's the courage to just speak up, Put your idea out there. Commit to that initial push. It's the spark, the catalyst.
Right.
Without that first bit of boldness, things don't really start. You could even think about building a boldness habit loop. The more you take these small, bold steps, the easier the next one feels.
Yeah, that makes sense. And this flows so naturally into the next bit of the statement, the part that feels, really stark. Half steps, kill plans. That's such a strong image, almost brutal, isn't it? Kill plans. It doesn't just say they slow things down or make things tricky. It says kill. That's pretty final. So what exactly are these half steps and why are they supposedly so destructive?
It's a good question to unpack, especially now when everyone talks about iterative approaches, MVPs, minimum viable products. But there's a key difference. Half steps aren't MVPs. Half steps are about incomplete effort. Doing something without real conviction. You've still got one foot planted back in, maybe not, or what if? It's like you're trying, but you're holding back a big chunk of your energy or your resources or even just your belief, hedging your bets, keeping an escape hatch. An MVP, though, that's a full commitment, just to a smaller, defined piece of work. The intention is totally different. It's complete in itself, just small.
Okay, so an MVP is like full steam ahead on a small, finished thing. But a half step is more like trying to do the whole big thing, but only giving it, say, 50%. You think, well, 50% effort is better than nothing, right? But this quote flat out says no. How do these half measures actively kill a plan?
Yeah, it seems counterintuitive sometimes, but these half steps are really insidious. They don't just fail passively, they actively sabotage, first off, momentum. They kill momentum, which is just crucial for anything. Think about pushing a stalled car. If you just give it little shoves and stop, then another little shove, you waste way more energy than one good continuous push, right? You lose all the forward motion. Second, resources. They get tied up, but they're not really working effectively. So that's a huge opportunity cost. Time, energy, maybe money. It's just dribbling away with no real progress. And this is critical, that lack of full commitment. It signals a lack of belief, both to yourself and to anyone else watching or involved. It chips away your own confidence, your self-efficacy, and it erodes trust from others. It can even lead to something psychologists call learned helplessness, where trying partially and failing repeatedly makes you start to believe success just isn't possible.
Wow. So if you're, say, working on a project, but you're only half in, or you're always kind of looking for the easier way out, not fully dedicating yourself.
Yeah.
You're not just making it harder, you're basically setting it up to fail, guaranteeing its demise. It's like trying to bake that cake, but yeah, only putting in half the flour. Doesn't matter how well you do the rest, the core just isn't right. It's compromised from the start.
Exactly that. It creates this constant state of almost there, which is often way more frustrating and definitely less productive than if you just never started. It's like a slow death. Death by 1,000 little uncommitted cuts instead of one big failure. And this links back so perfectly to be bold, doesn't it? Because if you really embrace being bold, if you take that decisive first step, it's inherently a full step, not a half step. The act of being bold kind of prevents you from falling into that trap of wavering, of holding back.
That's a really important connection. So boldness isn't just about starting. It's about the quality of the start. It implies full commitment right from the get-go. It's a leap, yeah, not a hesitant shuffle. When you decide to be bold, you automatically take the half-step option off the table. You're all in. And that initial push, that momentum you mentioned, it carries you past that hesitation point and gets you fully engaged. Sets the tone for how you'll keep going. Okay, so we've got be bold, the catalyst, steering us clear of those plan-killing half steps. And then the statement wraps up with this really powerful result. Confidence opens doors. What sort of doors are we talking about? And how does confidence actually work like a key? Is it just a feeling inside, or is it something more practical, a force?
Oh, it's way more practical than just a feeling. It really is a force. It actively creates opportunities. The doors it opens, well, they can be many things. Sure, sometimes literal doors, a new job, a new project, getting into a meeting. But often they're metaphorical doors too, doors to people's trust, their willingness to actually listen to your ideas, or maybe invest in what you're doing. Basically, confidence sends out this signal, this aura of capability, reliability. It's tied really closely to self-efficacy. That's your belief in your own ability to do what's needed to reach a goal. And when you genuinely believe you can, you often act in ways that make it happen. And crucially, other people pick up on that belief.
So it's not just about how you feel on the inside. It's how that inner conviction actually changes how you act, how you carry yourself, and then how other people see you and react to you.
Precisely. The internal belief is the foundation, absolutely. But confidence shows up externally. You see it in someone's posture. You hear it in their voice, the clarity when they speak, their willingness to take calculated risks, not foolish ones. When you project that kind of confidence, you inspire it in others too. People are just more likely to trust or follow someone who seems to know where they're going, or at least believes strongly they can figure it out. And look, this isn't about being arrogant, not at all. It's about a kind of settled conviction that leads to persuasive action. It makes you seem approachable, but also authoritative. People are often drawn to that, sometimes without even realizing it. It invites collaboration, opens up chances. Plus, confident people tend to be better at navigating uncertainty or reframing failures as just learning moments, which of course just helps them keep moving forward.
That makes so much sense. And it highlights this loop, doesn't it? Because if someone is genuinely confident, they're naturally more likely to take those bold steps we talked about earlier, which means they're also way less likely to get stuck in those self-defeating half steps. It's like a positive feedback cycle. Success from open doors builds more confidence, which then fuels even bolder actions, which opens even more doors. Round and round it goes.
Yes, that cyclical nature is probably the deepest insight hidden in this really simple sentence. Confidence doesn't just magically appear out of nowhere. Usually it's built. It's built by taking bold steps, even small ones, and seeing them work out, or learning how to handle it when they don't perfectly. So every time you choose to be bold and you consciously avoid those half steps, you commit fully, even if it's small, you are actually strengthening your own self-belief, your confidence. And then guess what? That stronger confidence makes it easier to be bold next time, to tackle bigger challenges with more conviction, which, yep, leads to more doors opening. It's a virtuous cycle, absolutely.
So you really can't pull these pieces apart. It's a dynamic system. Be bold is the ignition, the spark. Avoiding half steps is like the steady, committed fuel, keeping the engine running, keeping that momentum. And confidence opens doors is the result. The engine driving forward, not just reaching places, but actually creating new roads, new pathways. It's not just step 1, step 2, step 3. It's more like an ecosystem where action and belief all work together.
And if you think about the bigger picture, it's all about building a powerful story, both inside and out. Internally, you're telling yourself, I can do this, I am committed. That fuels your actions, builds that self-efficacy we mentioned, and externally, you're presenting yourself as someone who delivers, someone reliable, someone worth trusting with an opportunity. That draws people and chances to you. This whole integrated approach, that's what turns good intentions into real, repeatable results. It's about fostering this mindset where your actions and your beliefs are constantly feeding each other in a positive way.
So looking at the whole thing together again, be bold. Half steps kill plans. Confidence opens doors. It really does feel like a complete roadmap, a cycle for creating success and opportunity. It starts with that absolute need for decisive action, taking the plunge.
Yeah.
And that very decisiveness protects your efforts from getting sabotaged by those weak, hesitant attempts. And this entire process, the commitment, the follow-through, it both builds and comes from that genuine confidence that acts like a magnet, pulling new chances toward you, clearing the way forward.
It really is a masterclass in just distilled wisdom, packed into so few words. Boldness kicks things off, provides the full commitment needed so you don't get stuck in those half-step swamps. And that committed action, sustained over time, inevitably builds real confidence, which then acts like a turbo boost, a force multiplier, creating the very opportunities you were aiming for in the first place. Each part strengthens the others. It makes the whole thing incredibly solid advice for anyone trying to achieve something meaningful no matter what field they're in. It's really a powerful case for committed action.
It's a powerful reminder, isn't it? Okay, so as we wrap up, something for you, our listener, to maybe chew on this week. Provocative thought, perhaps? Think about your own goals right now, things you're working on. Could be learning a skill, starting that side project, pursuing a personal ambition, whatever it is for you. Where, honestly, might you be taking half steps right now, without even fully realizing it? And then ask yourself, what would it actually look like to bring that spirit of real boldness, that full, unwavering commitment, into those specific areas? What surprising doors do you think might genuinely swing open for you if you really trusted that kind of confidence to pave the way? Something to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us today. We'll catch you next.